Joining us now is Chris, and today we're going to be talking about Long Island ABATE. Welcome to the show. How are you today?
I'm wonderful, thank you. Thanks for having me.
So you just had a big event yesterday. Tell us about that.
Yeah, yesterday we had our Long Island ABATE, we had our Veterans Appreciation Run, which every year we do this annually, thanks to the veterans on Long Island as well as abroad the country. We're able to do what we do because of them and their sacrifices. So what we do is we raise money and we do a run, and then everything we raise gets tripled. We have benefactors that match what we raise. So life to date, we've raised $1.168 million for local veterans on Long Island. Every penny we raise goes right to the veterans here on Long Island.
Chris, that's fantastic. What made you decide to, head up Long Island ABATE? And what is Long Island ABATE?
Well, Long Island ABATE stands for American Bikers Training, Awareness, and Education.
Wait a second. It actually stands for something. It's
Yes,
an acronym. Okay,
yes.
so give that to me one more time.
It's American Bikers for Awareness, Training, and Education.
Okay, got it.
So what we do is we advocate for motorcyclists' rights, and we keep motorcyclists safe, or try to really hard. And by doing that, we're out in the community, we spread awareness. We're actually in high schools now teaching driver's ed classes, motorcycle awareness. Life to date, we've done about 75 classes. We're on board to do about 100 classes next year, which will be about 7,000 new drivers we're reaching on how to react around motorcycles and help make them better drivers and also help keep us safe.
As someone that has been part of the motorcycle community for like over a decade now, one of the things that I learned that surprised me is that a lot of times when drivers look to the left and the right, their mind is not registering seeing the one headlight or the one solitary thing. They're only looking for two things, and that also causes a lot of accidents. So it's about awareness of how a motorist can actually see motorcycles.
Yes, what we have is a 90-minute presentation, PowerPoint presentation, that simulates various situations. They're actually live footage of motorcycle crashes. And what that does is teaches them how to avoid them, makes them better drivers, and keeps us safe as well.
Okay.
Kids are not, prior to this, or new drivers are not taught to register motorcycles. It doesn't, like you say, it doesn't click. You know, we're not a threat. Motorcycles are not a threat to automobiles. Tractor trailer coming down the road is a threat. Motorcycles not. And then there's this thing called target fixation, which is very important. Whereas when you look at something, you actually see past it and you don't see the thing you're looking at.
Okay.
So that happens a lot of times at left-hand turns, which is a very, very big killer and a big problem in the motorcycle community, because cars have bumpers, motorcyclists have legs and bones, you know. So what happens is a left-hand turn, they'll see, like you said, not see the headlight. They'll make the left-hand turn. Motorcyclist isn't able to stop in time, and it could be a near fatal, situation every time.
And sometimes also, like when I'm driving in my car, right, and I'm seeing some motorcyclists, they also need to like retake safety things or things like that, because a lot of times I'm seeing people like zip through the center line, or the crotch rockets, those guys are like,
Yeah.
right? And, so it's got to be like a win for both, right?
Yes.
So it has to be like, live to ride, ride to live, right? So I think that sometimes those safety classes and things like that are really important.
Very true. I advocate for motorcyclists to improve their skills and their awareness and ride properly as well. It's controversial because there are a lot of motorcyclists are, look for us, a lot for us, but we have to be diligent as well. If you know there's a problem and you do nothing about the problem, you're part of the problem, and I advocate for that. So what I do is I recommend schools, we have advanced classes that they do, are available to better your skills and your awareness, and you got to ride right. There are rules of the road. You want to be able to do what you want to do, but there's still safety involved. So you want to keep everybody safe. When a situation like that happens, you're affecting not only yourself, but everybody involved in that situation. If you have a crash, now you affected the vehicle that you crashed into, their family, whoever's behind you or with you. So now you're making a bad imprint on a lot of different people. And it's not something you want to do. You want to enjoy the ride.
Now, why did you become the president of Long Island ABATE? What was your inspiration for all that?
It kind of happened. I became a member probably about 9 years ago. A friend of mine got me involved, and then became Sergeant at Arms, and I kind of worked up through the ranks. And I've been harassed about it because they said they were training me the whole time, and I didn't believe them. But sure enough, the president stepped down, and I looked around and I said, "All right, I'll take it." And I've been doing it since July of 2020. It's been a great ride so far. We have a great crew. We do a lot of stuff. We make a big impact on the community between what we do for the veterans. We also have a awareness run, which comes off in May, Motorcycle Awareness Month. We raise money for our funds where we have the lawn signs and we have all the handout material that we're able to distribute throughout the year. And then we do a St. Mary's Food and Toy Run also. So we really give back to the community as well as protect motorcyclists and their rights. We go to DC, we lobby for motorcyclists' rights. We go across the country. We have two different Conferences we meet across the country, some with the motorcycle clubs, the other ones with the motorcycle rights organizations. And then that's where we prepare for DC. So it's really a lot of work. It's a lot of fun. A lot of good
Now,
people.
motorcycle rights, motorcyclist rights, right? What is one key issue right now that you're trying to get passed? What legislation needs to happen, or, what's the, I guess, the challenge right now?
There's a lot of challenges. We just got on one of the omnibus bill, we got the anti-profiling. That's always a big one.
Okay.
Because you don't want to get pulled over because of what you're riding or how you're dressed. You want to get pulled over because you're doing something wrong. So if they pull you over because you're riding a motorcycle, that's profiling. So we're fighting for that. So nationally, that's going. We're working on New York to get them to pass legislation. Right now, there is some words about training and anti-profiling, education for the officers, but it's not a law yet in New York. There's a lot of different things. New York, we have our own set of problems. They want to keep kids under 12 off of motorcycles, which to me is very heartfelt because my daughter was on the back of my bike for the second 6 years of her life, and that's a relationship you can't replace. We build a bond with that. And if you have your child on the back, you're going to be pretty diligent about how you ride.
Oh, of course, right?
You have to deal with mom if something
Right.
goes wrong. But and that nationally, we have a lot of other stuff, which isn't so much here in New York. Like we have E15. That's a gasoline with 5% more alcohol in it. So they're looking to cut out E10, which is what we have at the pumps now. So this is all the corn manufacturers out there, the farmers and stuff, that use the ethanol and put it in the gasoline. And if you're not properly labeling the pumps, or you erroneously put that in your motorcycle, you can damage it and void the warranty.
Oh, okay.
So we want to advocate for that on a national level. Autonomous vehicles is another national situation. There were 4 motorcyclists killed because of Teslas. There's a glitch in the programming. They don't call it autopilot, they call it driver assist. However, the drivers of the vehicles do not think so. They think it's autopilot. So they let the hands off the wheel, they do their thing, and unfortunately motorcyclists die.
Oh, goodness.
So we advocate for motorcyclists to be noticed and brought up in the planning and the certification of the programming so that this doesn't happen again.
Understood. Well, I thank you, and I love the charitable aspect of it, that 100% of the proceeds are going to important things.
Absolutely.
It's making a big difference in the community. And you're right, people sometimes when they say motorcyclists, they're like, oh, they're like the bad dudes or whatever,
Hardly.
Yeah, exactly. Most of them are either own businesses or they're very charitable or they're like giving help to the community. So
Absolutely.
thank you so much.
I appreciate it. Thank
Lovely
you.
to have you here. And if you are a motorcyclist anywhere in the country, join your ABATE group. And if you're here in this area, join Long Island ABATE. Thank you for watching.